if every Major League Baseball game was broadcast like last night's All-Star game, I would probably watch more.
They're
totally entertaining. Loved it.
The worst Major League All-Star game in 20, maybe 25 years. That's an arbitrary number, but I cannot honestly remember the worst Major League Baseball All-Star game.
It started with my man Joe Davis and Smoltzy in the booth doing the game.
Yeah.
Texted Smoltzy, it's a great game. You look great tonight. But Barry, the pitchers and the catchers are mic'd up and they're talking to them during the game. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Why did I not think of that idea? That is, I was mesmerized. I went, whoa, wait a minute. Are they talking to this guy? No way. It was great.
Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you that you actually think, oh, that would be, I'd watch baseball if it, nobody believes you. Nobody believes that you watched the game and saw the pitchers and catchers mic'd up and saw, and said it was a great game. Jay, don't get started with him, because now we get going, we get started, and John takes a deep breath, and I'm already cringing. He says, John's cold opens are my new favorite thing. It's not any of this welcome in, hit the like and subscribe. Yeah. It's always something. And I'm like, it can be anything from a 4 or 5-star offensive lineman commits for 2 years from now to Alabama from Ohio, to something absolutely unbelievable. Like, boy, that All-Star game was great. It was not. It was the worst.
Well, I will tell you, it ain't easy to come up with one. And I was juggling between that one and another one that I'm going to spring on you in a minute. Yeah. But I will say this, Barry. I watched more of that game last night than I've watched any game all season long. I even turned to the wife and said, that's pretty cool. They're actually talking to the pitcher during the game.
The first batter's out. All right, I'm out. That would qualify for as long as John has watched a baseball game this year.
And I will tell you this. When the American League jumped up 3-0 early in the first inning, I went, this ain't the way I need it to go. Well, but everything calmed down from that point on.
All they had to do was score the first run in the first inning, and that would have been it, because National League didn't score the whole night at a National League park. American League shuts out the National League 4-0 in the All-Star game yesterday. It was in Philly, and there's a couple of things about it that stick out at me. Number one, the Philly fans. I was about to say Phillies.
Yeah.
But it's the Eagles fans, it's the Flyers fans, it's the Sixers fans, it's the Philly fans. They're the worst fans in the world. I mean, they were booing more than they were cheering. They had not much to cheer about. I will give them that. Yeah. But you'd have like somebody up from a division rival, like a Brave or a Med, and they'd be booing them. Everybody always in the pregame introduction boos the commissioner. They booed the heck out of him and boo, and I can't remember 2 times in the whole game where you could actually hear them cheering for somebody. It was 4-0. It was awful. Now, I love Joe Davis. I had been telling people for years, when Joe Davis was the voice of the Montgomery Biscuits, I knew him before then. I actually, he actually and I started corresponding when he was in college. And, he did the Biscuits. And I said the last day he spent in Montgomery, I took him to lunch at Gale's down the street cafe, and I got a picture. Sweet. I could never find the picture, but I found it. And, awesome. His last day in Montgomery. Now, we both were a lot younger and everything, and he's gone on to bigger and better things. Love that crew. I love the Fox crew of Joe Davis and John Smoltz, but even they couldn't put enough lipstick on that pig last night.
I'm surprised. I thought you would have been really giddy about last night's game. For a guy that doesn't watch a lot of baseball, I watched. I don't want to give away how many innings I actually watched. I mean, I did get into something else after a while.
Was it multiple innings? Was it multiple half innings?
No, does it count if it's on while you're eating dinner, but you're really not paying attention?
You're in another room, John. You're not, I'm talking about watching the game, not having it on a TV upstairs in the kids' room or something like that.
I was in the same room that the game was on that TV. I will say that. I was in that room.
The wonders of a TV tray.
Yeah, I was on that. And then I kind of moved away. I started on something last night on Paramount Plus called The Real Wolf of Wall Street. The real characters, the real people that the movie was based on. A little bit different than what you saw in the movie based on this documentary. It's a multi-episode. I'm in through episode 1. It's pretty good. Well, so I got into that, and the baseball game kind of waned a little bit.
Which was more? Which was more in your viewing deal? Last night's deathly awful Major League Baseball All-Star game, American League leads beat the National League 4-0. That's the first All-Star game shutout since 2013. Or Lionel Messi and Argentina playing England today. Or did you watch more of France and Spain at 2:00 in the afternoon? Oh, the horror in Atlanta. No, in Dallas.
Oh, I don't even know where it was played.
Yeah.
No, I did not, nor did a group of guys I was with last night when one of them looked at me and said, "What happened in that soccer game today?" I went, figures.
I don't know.
I said, "Why are you asking me?" And the discussion morphed into, why'd they play this game at 2:00? I went, "Thank you." All I hear is the United States is trying to grow soccer. Been trying to do it for the last 30 years. I've heard that. We're trying to get into soccer a little bit. It's the worldwide game. We're trying to grow soccer in America. You know what? Let's play it at 2 p.m. when all Americans are at work and they can't watch it. That's a great way to grow the sport. It's already big in France and Spain and Argentina, but we're trying to make it bigger here. Grow the sport. 2:00 in the afternoon? That sounds pretty good. Let's do it then.
The kids are home. It's summer. They're not in school.
They're out playing in ditches and looking for frogs and stuff.
This was so laughable yesterday. Jay was actually saying, I love it when we can actually see you, because Barry has the look of absolute. He is not actually saying that Fox is going to screw over the millions upon millions of fans who live and die on every second of the World Cup in Europe, and say, we want people to. Now, bear in mind, John's talking about growing it.
Yeah.
He ain't watched it. Not a bit.
No, not thinking about it.
And, John's with all of his buddies. That's the reason why they're his buddies, is because, they're all, kind of think the same way. They all kind of, soccer. Why? If they really wanted soccer, they'd play it at prime time.
Yeah, sure.
Great. So,
I'm thinking about that yesterday. I'm thinking, all I hear about is, they need to grow this sport. It's international, worldwide. Everybody plays soccer, and the U.S. is behind in soccer, and they need to, make it more important and on the forefront. Yeah, let's play it at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. That'll attract a lot of people. Yeah, that's a great way to sell your product.
And let the Euros, who are rock solid, everybody in Nice and Paris and Lyon and all of that, they are watching 1:00 in the morning. Sure. Why the heck with those guys?
Why not? They love it. It's already
they owe us anyway. We bailed them out of 2 world wars.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, no kidding. They're already big into soccer. They already love it. It doesn't matter. They're trying to grow it here, make it bigger in the strongest economy on the planet. And they're trying to make it a big deal. And 2:00 on a Tuesday looks good to me. Let's play it. What time are they playing today? 2:00.
2:00. Yeah,
I figured. Yeah,
England versus Argentina today in Atlanta.
Man, traffic's bad enough in Atlanta. Can't imagine what the traffic's going to be today over there.
You know why? Because it's going to be a sellout crowd. Everybody's going to be watching it.
Well,
They
I was
sold the
thinking just
tickets
the
out at
opposite.
whatever they wanted to print on the ticket. Yeah.
I was thinking, you're thinking everybody's coming this way. I'm thinking they're going that way to get out of downtown. Get me out of here. Woo, I don't want to get caught in this rat race.
Later on the show, a little bit of Auburn stuff. We're gonna hit on them a little bit instead of talking about alpha dogs on defense.
That could have been my cold opening today, Barry, but I went with the All-Star game instead.
Yep. Turns out that this thing with Gabe Gross, where they bumped their baseball hitting coach up into a special assistance role for fundraising and fan engagement, was going on, was in the works for a little while because they bump him up Monday.
Yeah.
And they hired a guy to replace him on Tuesday.
Whoa. Well,
Seems like it was already preordained. Nick Amorati, the hitting coach from Georgia, who hit about 1 billion home runs, made the College World Series, had the Player of the Year. This was already a done deal. This was in the machinery, right after the end of the College World Series.
Barry, it's kind of like football coaches. If you're going to, and I don't want, firing's a tough word because I don't want to use that with Gabe Gross. He just got repositioned. Whatever it is, firing, repositioned, you got to have somebody else to fall in line. You just can't move somebody up or get rid of him, whatever. Go, okay, now let's go look for somebody.
Yeah.
So, I like that. That's pretty good. Glad to hear that. Barry, should we worry that when Auburn announced the 3 players that will be heading to Tampa for SEC football media days, one of them's a kicker?
I told you this yesterday. We were talking about it with Brian Matthews, and Brian said, I was pretty sure it's going to be Byron Brown, of course.
Yeah.
And that is true.
That's true.
The other guy turns out to be Champ Anthony, defensive player. He's I think he'll be a good one. And he says, I don't know who's going to be the third. And John was saying, and I'm saying, Alex McPherson. You get 3 players. McPherson's a great story. He had some real health problems and all that. I don't have there's only a couple of guys that are geeked up about it, but that's a good story.
Well, I've had a long history of just wondering out loud. You send a kicker, a punter, a long snapper. That tells me you don't have a very good football team. You don't have a lot of skill position, go-to kind of different maker, running backs, wide receiver, skill position players, they call them. What you normally see in an event like this, I mentioned Arkansas brought a punter years ago, and I went, ooh, they're in trouble.
Texas A&M has brought a punter before.
Yeah, I'm thinking, do I need to reevaluate my preseason prediction on Auburn just because of that news yesterday? I was not expecting that. I got to tell you,
I was trying to scream over you two guys. They're going to get Alex McPherson to go. Great kid, great story. Now, nobody is going to be asking these guys, they're not going to be asking Champ Anthony, well, what's your key? Whenever they open up in 12 personnel, what's your key? Do you look at the tight end? Or ain't nobody going to be talking about that? They're going to be saying, so, Champ, what's your favorite flower? They're going to be asking dumb stuff anyway. And nobody going to be sitting in there saying, I'm really interested if you, Byram, will showcase your entire offensive playbook and give us a real scene of what exactly you're going to be. No, ain't nobody going to do that. So it's not like
I'm not really worried about the Q&A. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just thinking with all these hotshot transfers that came from South Florida and this new life and energy in this Auburn football program, you bringing a kicker?
I don't get the.
Nobody ever talks about a kicker. Kickers are kind of like, okay, whatever. I'm not sure that their teammates really, let kicker, whatever. They pat him on the head when he makes an extra point and whatever. But
there have been people that have dog-cussed Joseph Bulivus on this program.
Yeah, you didn't see him at media days either.
See, you're looking at him like you're looking at it the wrong way, like it's a reward. Oh, we'll take him because he deserves it. These are our best players.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't have to be best players. You're thinking, all right, let's get our 3 best players and send them out there because everybody's going to be asking football questions. Very few people ask football questions. This is not like a reward for being a great player.
I think they do ask football. I mean, you got some clowns that'll say, "Hey, you're going to save your virginity for your wedding night or something."
That was Clay Travis, who was sitting right beside me to Tebow.
But I'm certainly, hey, Alex. So, like, when the game's going on, I mean, what are you doing over there? I mean, are you watching? Are you looking in the stands? It's not like you're next to the coach hearing what play's being called. You're just waiting for the guy to go, "Hey, McPherson, get out there."
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do during the game? I'd be interested to hear that, maybe.
If anybody at SEC Media Days knows more about what you do when you stand on the sidelines watching a football game in full uniform, you are the last person that needs to ask that question.
I want to know what it's like at the next level. I know what it's like on the high school level. What's it like on the college level? When you're sitting around all game.
Yeah.
You probably don't have to wash your uniform when the game's over.
Is that girl a sophomore? There's no way she's a sophomore.
Man, she has grown during the summer. Woo. Man. Yeah. Did they send her away? Because, man, she looks different than she did last spring.
Well, a lot to do today.
Yeah.
We have, of course, C.J. Duncan, Yellowhammer News, going to join us. Always love that on Wednesday.
Yeah, bottom of this hour, yeah.
By the way, one more, real quick, just so we're even, just so we're fair, Alabama brings Bray Hubbard. I thought they would.
Yeah.
Ryan Coleman Williams, bringing him, and Zabian Brown. That's a pretty good get. I like that. As a matter of fact, on my Phil Steele college football preview magazine, the SEC edition, you got Trinidad Chambliss. You got Ahmad Hardy from Missouri, led the league in rushing last year. Hopefully he's recovered from his gunshot wound.
Did that kid play at Troy?
No, he played against Troy. He was at Louisiana Monroe.
Okay, yeah, I knew. I thought
as a true freshman, ran for about $150 on us, and I'm thinking, who is this kid?
Yeah.
And in the middle, Zabian Brown, the face of the program at Alabama.
Is he the alpha dog? Is he that alpha dog on defense I've been asking about all summer?
They've got 2 defensive guys. They've got Bray Hubbard and Zabian Brown, both of them defensive backs. Maybe the alpha dog will come from the secondary. Might be something we ask one of those players when our coverage begins next week from SEC Media Days down in Tampa. Okay, so we do have C.J. Duncan, Yellowhammer News coming up a little bit later on. Knock on wood. Josh Harris, our Moneyline magician.
I think Josh is joining us today. Hadn't heard anything different. Theodis, I'll let you know if his plans change. I think Theodis is watching Morning with Maria. Tuberville was on this morning.
Oh,
something. Yeah, it was on Kudlow yesterday. Tuberville's making the rounds on Fox Business.
Yeah,
today.
He's one of these ones that's talking against the College Sports Act, or what it's called. Now everybody else is against it too. Tuberville was the first one to tell you this ain't going to get it done.
See?
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What I miss?
I have no idea.
Chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
Back at it. Glad you're with us. 20 minutes past the hour on this Wednesday, Longshore and McKnight. Hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Helps us out. Helps us out with the algorithm, the programming, and we really appreciate that. Watch us at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. Their Yellowhammer News Facebook page. Good folks there. Always want you to check them out. Of course, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, X, Instagram, all over the place. You'll see us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate that. One thing, Barry, that did catch my attention earlier today, and I know it is the middle of July, middle of the summer, some James Bond movie conversation from my man Jay.
Oh, yeah. Jay's so great. One of my favorites. Just out of the blue. This was, goodness, Jay, this was 35 minutes before we even started the show.
Yeah.
Jay's sitting on G, waiting on O for this
Love
thing.
it.
Saying, come on, guys. Jay says, just out of the blue, he says, is Die Another Day the worst Bond movie of the series?
Yes.
Soon as
I
John
agree.
locked in on the show, he looked at that. Oh, yeah.
Too much CGI, too much trick stuff. The plot was terrible.
It was the worst.
Halle Berry coming out of the water looked pretty good, but besides that, not much else.
Yeah.
That was, Pierce Brosnan needed to go out in a better way. That was a dud.
That was 24 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was the one with the guy with the Asian guy with diamonds in his
Correct.
face for some reason.
Yeah.
And they stayed in a hotel made of ice.
Yeah.
Give me
Stupid.
a break. Give me a break.
Yeah.
And that was the one where he's going over the cliff of this glacier and he uses the hood of his car for
As a ski.
parasailing.
Yeah. It was stupid. Yeah.
But-
It was there again.
This-
Pierce Brosnan could have gone out better. I thought Pierce was a really good Bond, debonair, suave.
Yes.
I'm a big Daniel Craig fan. And I think maybe Jay can help me out with this. I hadn't really been following it as closely as I did when I was younger. I believe they're about to announce who the next James Bond's going to be. Are they auditioning guys? And I believe the announcement's coming soon
Yeah.
of that. So, Jay, if you know anything, spread that around. Of course, From Russia with Love is my all-time favorite. I love that one. That was the second movie that they produced, of course, with Sean Connery.
I'm still a Dr. No guy.
I like Dr. No.
The first three, Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Goldfinger. And I'm a Sean Connery guy. It's between Goldfinger and Dr. No. Those were two of the
those are
first
good
three.
ones.
John raves about From Russia with Love.
I like it.
Closest
to the book.
Never did do much for me. All I really remember about it, like the first thing I remember about it is Lottie Lenya playing a maid. Oh, she's a SMERSH agent. She's playing a maid, and she's got a knife in the toe of her shoe.
Yeah.
Is it a poison knife?
Yes.
Is it a poison knife
believe
in
it
the
is.
toe of her shoe, or is she just going to cut him in the shins?
I think it was a poison knife. Yes.
That kind of ruined the whole thing.
Yeah, he kept her away with that chair. Like he was fighting a tiger or something.
Interchange those, Dr. No and Goldfinger. Right there behind it is Live and Let Die, which had the best Bond song.
Correct. I agree.
It had, I think, the best Bond girl.
Yeah, that was
Hello,
that was
Jane
Jane Seymour's first
Woo.
movie.
Yep, big fan of hers. The second, the one that I thought was kind of the funniest was Moonraker. It was a terrible movie.
Yeah. It had its point. As Jay said, it was kind of fun. It had its moments, but it was kind of crazy too.
What was the one with Christopher Walken in it?
View to a Kill.
Oh,
That
with
was Roger
Duran
Moore's
Duran
last one.
singing the theme song. Okay.
It was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Live and Let Die was in New Orleans. It was in New York. It was in the Caribbean.
Jim.
Yeah. Mr. Big wants to see you. I love that. Yeah. Live and Let Die. Like that was Roger Moore's first. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Theme song was great. No doubt about that. So yeah, Jay, I'm glad to know you're a Bond aficionado. I've been one for quite a long time.
So who's it going to be? Daniel Craig, I think is great, but he's 58 years old.
He's out.
You know, some of these girls. That's like Roger Moore when he did. You
Don't Kill. That was his last one.
Yeah, he was old enough to be a grandfather, and he even said that. He said he knew it was. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Henry Cavill, who plays Superman? Is it going to be James Norton? Is it going to be Idris Elba?
They like, Barry, to get people that really are not well known. I mean, Daniel Craig wasn't well known. I remember when they introduced him, I went, who? What? And they transformed
Didn't he quarterback Auburn in 97?
Craig.
No, that was Damian Craig.
Yeah, Craig was kind of skinny when they announced him, and he bulked up for the role. But, kind of unknown. So I don't know if you're going to get a guy that people know or are familiar with. We'll see. But I understand it's coming up pretty soon. They're auditioning, and I think they're going to announce it. They're ready to go. So we'll see how that plays out.
Couple of quick things. Bill from Baltimore says, which former Auburn player or figure would have been the best Bond? Takeo Spikes? No, if you want Bond, I think you got to go
Ramsey.
No, you got to go Tim Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Always wore the trench coat.
Sure.
Always on the sidelines, behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Takeo Spikes would have made a good Bond villain. That guy just looks mean.
No kidding. Him and Oddjob, man. Yeah. I'd take him over Oddjob all over the place. Joe says, I think Dennis Mitchell should be the next James Bond. Dennis is too cool.
Yeah, he is too cool.
For James Bond. And also, Bob from Pike Road, surprisingly enough, he brings up that Auburn is the disaster on the pasture. He says, I don't know. He says Bama's O-line and OC in 2025 was not good. Historically horrendous. 50-year famine bad. Worst in a generation. And he says that so strongly that finally our guy way offsides Jeff says, I agree, Bob. That's why I couldn't stop laughing was when Josh was sitting live on live TV saying Bama had good running backs and a good offensive line last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bob says this. He says not for, Grubb is gone after this year. They both want Ryan Grubb gone.
Ooh.
Grubb is gone after this year, I think, along with Freddie Roach, who's been a dud.
Yeah, they've been getting on Freddie a lot lately, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Barry, is good might be the proper word. Exceptional? No. Extraordinary? No. That's what people are used to when it comes to Bama running backs and offensive line play, particularly under Saban. Exceptional? Yeah. Extraordinary? Definitely. Good? Nah, they weren't good. Were they good last year? Yeah, I guess they were compared to the last 17 seasons. I guess you could say they were good. I guess so was Arkansas. I don't know. They were good.
They were all right. Yeah, good doesn't get it in the SEC.
No, it doesn't.
So one final thought before we go to break and get CJ Duncan.
Yep.
John is already poo-pooing Auburn's choice of Alex McPherson. A very good kicker. Right Joe says, come on, the guy's playing with a colostomy bag, for God's sake.
It's like great good and exceptional. I was a little surprised.
He is the only special teamer that's going to be there. Nobody else is bringing a kicker. Nobody else is bringing a punter. Nobody else is bringing a long snapper. We mentioned, Alabama's guys, Auburn guys, the marquee, the star power.
Yep.
It's going to be on the last day, unfortunately, when John and I are long gone. Texas comes in on the fourth day. On the final day, which will be a week from tomorrow, next Thursday, the 23rd, it's Arkansas, LSU, Mississippi State, and Texas. Arch Manning will be in on Thursday. That's the star power. Other than Arch,
Barry, Arch was in Atlanta last year.
That's true. John Mateer from Oklahoma, of course. Trinidad Chambliss will be in. Other than that, though,
you say Mississippi State, Arkansas are the last day?
Yes, Mississippi State, Arkansas, LSU, and Texas. If putting Mississippi State on the last day is the death knell.
Mississippi State's the last day and the last team in the rotation.
I don't know if they're the last team in the rotation, but they're on the last day.
CJ Duncan's in the green room. We're going to check in with him when we get back from this next break. We'll ask CJ about kickers going to the SEC Media Days.
It's such a hot topic, incisive, and it's on everybody's lips throughout this country. Why not ask him? He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Get some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 27 minutes to the top of the hour, as we do on Wednesdays. Our friend CJ Duncan from Yellowhammer News joins us here today. Man, he is dolled up. He's in the car. He is moving and shaking. How you doing today, CJ?
I'm doing good, guys. It's good to see you all.
I'm looking right now at Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine. Vanderbilt 11th in the 2026 forecast, ahead of only Missouri, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Arkansas. I don't get it, CJ.
Yeah.
I don't get it at all.
I give it a big love.
Well, you know what? We're used to playing in the underdog role. Matter of fact, I probably prefer it, especially with a young freshman quarterback, Jared Curtis. We see a lot of good things coming from him, but hey, let him ease into it. Too many expectations may make things go the opposite direction. So we'll stay there, but we'll finish even better.
CJ, talk a little bit about that. A freshman quarterback taking over for Diego Pavia. Is that more pressure because you're taking over a guy that was so well known and did so well, and of course this guy's so young?
Yeah, you know what? That's why it's good to have good people around you, good support system, whether it's your coaches, whether it's the locker room, more specifically your quarterback room, and even family and friends. People that say, hey, Diego was his own man, and now you're your own man. And y'all got to run, your own separate races, right? We see it all the time in the NFL where, Lamar Jackson comes in for Joe Flacco at some point, or Baker Mayfield, he comes to Tampa Bay after the Tom Brady era, and you still have to find ways to win. You still have to find ways to do it your way. And I think they're just different enough quarterbacks for him to have his own identity and kind of to start his own legacy there. With him being a freshman, he's got at least 3 years to do so. I think he'll do really good things, but he'll be a quarterback that we hadn't seen in our program in a long time.
You mentioned Baker Mayfield, and I remember he was a walk-on starter as a walk-on freshman in his first game for Texas Tech, and of course it justified it and all that kind of stuff. What for somebody like Jared Curtis at Vanderbilt? Let's go down this rabbit hole a little bit. Right now in the summer, he's working. He's here we go. You okay?
Oh, you're good.
Okay. Okay. What's his head like right now? I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot for him to unpack in a short period of time.
That's right. Well, you know what? I don't know that it's hit him just yet. Right now, he's probably actually got a little bit of a routine in the summer, something he feels like he can handle, he can manage. But things start to pick up when fall camp comes around, when you're starting to not only you've already kind of started installing some of your playbook, but now you're installing things specific for certain teams based on the film that you've watched, and those things get a little bit more complex. We're starting to pick up on the play calling that we'll probably do in the first game, and that won't be as vanilla as we've seen over the spring and the summer. So now the mental aspect comes into it, along with the pressure, as you all mentioned. And so it's going to be a lot on him, and that's why we got to give him some grace and patience going forward. As a guy who's making his first college start very soon, but you kind of want him to go through that. So back half of the year, or even next season, we've got a guy who feels good about himself and confident to go play some good college football.
CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, joining us here this morning as he does each and every Wednesday. CJ, you in D.C. today?
Absolutely. We're back in D.C. Fighting the good fight. But I'm happy to be on with you guys. This is a little break from the action.
Yeah,
love it. Love it.
One of the things that is kind of been a fallout from action, I guess, in D.C. is this College Sports Act that's being bandied about in the federal government. Tommy Tuberville came out and he said it doesn't do enough. It doesn't really address the big problems. The SEC came out with something a couple of weeks ago. They're not in favor of it because there are protections that it needs for the student athlete. And then yesterday, the Big Ten had their own statement as well. They're against it and all. What's the absolute, in terms of the student athlete, in terms of the protection of the student athlete, number one, do you believe that there needs to be federal action to help streamline college athletics? And number two, what's the biggest thing that needs to happen specifically for the student athlete?
Well, I think it's a two-part deal. I really do believe that there should be some type of federal action because the NCAA hasn't proven that they will do anything. And right now, the system that we have is not developing young men. And that's the whole point of being in college, of being an amateur. I do believe that players should be paid for their name, image, and likeness. That's the intent. But we have more of a pay-for-play system now. And so there needs to be some action that's taken. And at the end of the day, guys need to be paid for what they bring is what I think. A lot of it right now is based on valuation, based on potential. We're getting to a point where it's kind of like a football, an NFL system where we're paying you for what we think you're going to be over the next 2 or 3 years. But I'd rather see some contracts that are a little bit more strict that say, hey, look, based on performance, based on popularity, those type of things, based on what you're doing in the community, that's how you get paid. That's how you increase pay. But having agents and all these kind of things involved in college sports now has kind of muddied up the game, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
I see reports, CJ, that Ole Miss is considering suing 2 of their former players that transferred to LSU for financial reasons. I mean, are we going down that road too? I mean, hey, we got you. We're going to pay you. You leave. We want our money back.
I was watching something just the other day that think his last name is Mensah. He's the quarterback that was at Duke last year. I think when he went over to Duke, that he signed for a 2-year, say $4 million deal, $6 million deal, but had 1 year at Duke and now transferred to Miami. And I think Duke actually sued him as well. And I think it's been settled, but it's going to happen as long as the portal remains open. The kids are going to just go for the highest bidder at this point. And with the Mensa kid, I kind of understand a little bit, just based. I don't know if it was completely about money. He was getting paid pretty well at Duke, but he wants to be a first rounder, and he didn't feel like that was going to happen at Duke, so he ended up at Miami to be on a bigger platform. But I do think this is going to continue to be a trend until something happens, until we force the hand of the NCAA, force the hand of these agents and different corporations that are pushing for all these players to get money and negotiations and all those kind of things.
Let me give you 5 names, and you tell me, if you were starting a new football program, which one of those you would take first. Marcel Reed, the quarterback at Texas A&M, Arch Manning, John Mateer at Oklahoma, Byron Brown from Auburn, or Trinidad Chambliss. Who would be the one that if you were starting a college football program, a college football offense, you would pick first?
Oh man, that's a tough one. You know what? I'll go with my gut here, and my gut is saying I would go with Trinidad Chambliss right now. I do think Arch has probably more upside based on his size, pedigree, a lot of different things. But I think right now, today, if I had to choose, I think Trinidad Chambliss is ready today to be a great player, at least at the college level.
Yeah, hard to argue with that, particularly with what he did last year and knowing he's coming back with that experience. I think that's a good call. Now, Barry says I'm crazy here, CJ, and I've been saying this for years. To me, it's a telltale sign that your football team, your roster might be a little thin if you take a kicker to SEC football media days.
Which Auburn is doing with Alex McPherson.
What do you think about that?
You know what? That's tough. That's a tough look. You know, I mean, this is the thing. Normally, they may have a different situation, different system there at Auburn, but normally the specialists are guys who kind of isolate themselves. You know, they are during practice, they're on the opposite side of the field. They're doing core work. They're working on field goals or snapping or whatever it may be. And naturally, you get so used to isolating yourself, you kind of do that everywhere, whether it's at the dining hall or whether that's in the locker room or whatever it may be. You just end up isolating yourself. And so they're usually not people that they get along with everybody, but they're not people that are just around all the time or have created that camaraderie with everybody on the team. And usually the guys that are sent to these media days are guys who are big time leaders in the locker room, have a pulse of the locker room, but are also guys that are high performers on your team. And so you don't normally see it, but maybe Auburn's doing something a little different this year.
Could be.
Maybe this guy's a little bit more involved than what I've seen in my experience.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was thinking about. You know, you're not going to ask him, hey, how's the offensive line looking or anything like that. But you also can't say, hey, what's the culture? What's the mood of this team right now? Because they're over there on that side practice field, all that kind of stuff. That's
maybe this is a guy. The head coach may be saying, hey, look, if I send him there, maybe this gets him a boost of confidence, and I know I'm going to need him this year, right? We're going to play in a lot of close games. It's the Southeastern Conference. If I send him there, these other guys, they're going to play well because they're getting paid well, and they want to go to the NFL. But this guy right here, maybe mentally this will do something for him, and he'll hit a couple shots for us late in games this year.
That's a good way to think of it.
I've got people texting me questions right now, but mostly they have to do with ask CJ where he got his tie. I'm not gonna do that. I like it.
Well,
CJ,
man, we know you're busy there in the nation's capital. We appreciate you breaking off for a little time for us here this morning. And man, we always look forward to it. We'll catch up next week. But man, thanks again, CJ. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys, man. I apologize for the chaos. Somebody was blowing the horn at my Uber. I don't know what we did wrong, but
okay, I got
but that's
you.
DC though. So thank you guys. I'll see you all next week.
Appreciate you, CJ. Thanks very much.
Yeah, great stuff.
I was a little bit worried about that. I didn't realize he was, I figured he was in an Uber. I didn't think he was driving and doing that. I was pretty sure about that. But then they parked and CJ's looking around and I'm hearing the horn. I'm thinking, uh-oh.
Yeah.
They got tagged or something like that, which I would have hated to see happen.
Barry,
there you go. There we go. That's a first. We've never had a show. We've had shows with people in parked cars before. Heck, John and I have done the show in parked vehicles before. Never had somebody in an Uber, though. I like that.
Yeah, it is a first. We've had a lot of the first here on the program. I don't take a lot of Ubers. I don't think I've ever taken an Uber in Montgomery. I'm usually out of town. But I have taken multiple Ubers many times in D.C., and there are a lot of Uber drivers that drive Teslas. And the only time I've ever been in a Tesla is in an Uber. And it's an interesting experience when you get in the back seat and you look up and you go, where's the speedometer? Is that thing the dashboard right there? Wait a minute.
Where's the quadraphonic blow pump?
Yeah. It is a different looking interior when you get inside of a Tesla. I tell you, they're quick, man. Those things can get up and go.
My couple of things. My next door neighbor, Dr. Mark Head, he's got a Tesla. And he and I get along great. We spend a little bit of time together. And I've been dropping hints left and right, and I still hadn't been in that Tesla. It's like, hey, man, that's a nice Tesla. Oh, thanks. I like it. I'm like, the other thing about it is this, that brings to mind when you say, I think and get up and go, is our buddy Jason Jones, who's got that EV, EV Ford, whatever you call it. I'm not sure
Lightning.
the Ford Lightning. That's it. The Ford F-150 Lightning. And he took me he got it from Stivers Ford. We'll be on Friday. Yeah. And he said, man, you gotta get in this. He showed me the whole thing. We went on that. Man, you hit the gas and or there is no gas. You hit the accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you are there. You are, I mean, there ain't no lull in all that. I love those things. Last time I've been in an Uber 100 times. And it's kind of a crapshoot, We've had really good Uber drivers, and we've had some guys who look like they just are fresh out of the pen.
Barry, I gotta come clean. I gotta admit, when I get in an Uber, I usually strike up a conversation, and I usually drop the hint, "Hey man, make sure you give me 5 stars. I'm a big guy. I want my 5-star rating to stand. It's hard to get 5 stars. It's tough." So when they see you, this is a 5-star, I'm picking him up.
That's a good, I go with that.
Yeah.
I go with that.
So I want my 5 stars.
Yeah. Yeah. We've, Dee and I were taking an Uber in Omaha, Nebraska. And we had one guy went above and beyond. And I gave him 5 stars. I usually always give him 5 stars. I mean, and that kind of stuff. But that guy, if you could have given him 10, I would have given him 10. He was awesome. It was nuts in Omaha, Nebraska, trying to get an Uber during the College World Series.
Have you ever had an Uber guy? You call for an Uber, however you do it on your app, and the guy just drops you and said, "I ain't coming to pick you up." I've had that happen before. I'm going, where is this guy? Wait a minute. Why did he drop me? I'm sitting right here. I'm a 5-star. What's doing it? Now somebody else will take over.
Yeah.
They'll immediately put somebody else in there. But I went, whoa, wait a minute. What did I do? And I'll tell you another cool feature.
Okay.
If you need to go, say, to the airport, you can reserve an Uber. So if you got a flight early one morning, say next Tuesday, you got a flight out of MGM, you go ahead and set that, go ahead and reserve it. They'll pick you up at, 4:45, whatever time for your 6 a.m. flight. Boom, there. That's I love that feature. Go ahead and reserve it. You ain't got to wake up and do it. It's already done. It's beautiful.
I've only ever in my life one time thought about rejecting an Uber driver. Guy comes up.
Jersey on?
I'm not going to tell you where it was or anything like that. The guy pulls up to my hotel, and his name has got a few too many consonants. What is this? Did he spell it right?
Trying to think where Barry's been recently. My first shot's going to be New Orleans. I'm going to say New Orleans because I've had some interesting Uber drivers in New Orleans.
I have had an interest, but this was not New Orleans.
Okay.
And I pulled in, and I'm friendly. Hey, how you doing? And he looks out at me. He looks like Peter Tosh. Nothing wrong with that, but he looks like Peter Tosh is a famous, no longer with us reggae star.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the Rasta braids or anything like that, but he looked like Peter Tosh in the middle of one of his ganja sessions. Smelled like it too, and I'm thinking,
I'm trying to think. Most of them have been very nice.
There's been great. I love me some Uber drivers.
I'm trying to think. Atlanta, New Orleans, DC. I know I've had an Uber somewhere else. Those seem to be the three
I've
that
had a jillion. I couldn't even begin to tell you.
But that's yeah. Do you use the function? Do you want to talk or not? Air conditioning.
Yeah, they do give you that option. I never even check either one. They give you the option. Do minimal conversation, no conversation. I don't get into all that.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Is it time for a break? I don't know. We've been rambling. I forgot if it was break time or not.
Yeah, let's take a break right now, and we'll take another one at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a fourth location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw. Okay, back at it a couple of minutes at the top of the hour here on a Wednesday. Our River Region Straw chat line is humming today. A lot of conversation, a lot of topics on the board today as well. Bob from Pike Road says his new nickname for DeBoer is the broker of mediocre.
Yeah. He's got a little bit of catchiness to it. I like that. From our buddy Ted Nugent Ty, he said, did Peter Tosh sing Legalize It? Yeah, that was him. That was him. He got murdered.
Is he related to Daniel Tosh?
No. His actual name is Peter McIntosh. I love reggae music. Yeah. He also sang a duet with Mick Jagger called Walk and Don't Look Back, which is pretty good one. Check that one out. I was going to be snarky here.
Go right ahead.
Finally got my copy of Phil Steele's College Football 26 Preview magazine, and I've been diving into it. And I was going to say, here's John. He is ripping Alabama's offensive line. He's ripping Alabama's running back room, and all that. I'm going to look at his top individual units, and we're going to see a little bit about this. Thoroughly prepared to say, hey, John, that offensive line you're talking about, Phil Steele's got it top 10. And then I get into it. It ain't top 10. It ain't the offensive line specifically. It ain't top 20. John, it ain't top 30. Top 40. I mean, they're out of the KC Kasem. Uh-oh, I think we lost John's microphone. Top 50. Alabama in Phil Steele's 2026 top individual units in the offensive line, number 61. Not hearing you. Right behind Utah, Texas State, Rutgers, Stanford, and Maryland.
Maryland.
There you go. Number 61. Okay. So I'll take a loss on that. I thought they would be better than that.
So, Barry, I have to ask this question. If they're not in the top 40 in the offensive line.
Not in the top 50.
Top 50.
Yeah.
How is this team going to end up in the top 10 in the final college football poll and make the playoff?
Well, I was also going to say, I'm going to hit them with the old running backs here.
That was going to be my next
running
question.
Backs. Top individual units, Phil Steele. I feel like David Letterman, the top 10. Top 10.
Okay.
Alabama is not there in running backs. Auburn's number 14. Auburn's number 10 in quarterbacks.
Oof.
I don't even know. Alabama's number 38 in quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Auburn is number 14 in the running back unit.
Huh.
Alabama is not. Alabama's not in the top 20 in running back. Alabama is not in the top 30 in running backs. Alabama's running back room is rated by Phil Steele. How does John usually use this? Nationally renowned, sports pundit.
Yep.
Number 41. Right ahead of Houston and Vanderbilt. Right behind Western Michigan.
So offensive line, running back, quarterback, not rated really high. Got to be wide receivers and tight ends. It got to be in the top 3.
Wide receivers, number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10, behind Florida, right ahead of Indiana. There you go.
So what about defense, Barry? There again, I've been looking for alpha dogs. I would assume that the secondary's rated pretty high. I'm not so sure about the linebackers and the defensive line.
Defensive line for Alabama. All right, load more. Number 18. They're not in the top. He lists the top 15. The top 15 get a little write-up beside them.
Sure, yeah.
Quarterbacks, not top 15. Running backs, not top 15. Wide receivers, number 10. Offensive line, number 61. Defensive line, number 18. Nothing in the top 15 except for wide receivers. In the top 15.
Secondary?
Except linebackers. We're going to go Auburn, the number 15 linebacker group.
Yeah.
Alabama, number 22. Defensive backs. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Okay.
Defensive backs. This is great. Number 6. The Tide missed their mark in pass D last year, finishing 44th in pass defense rating. This season, they get payback with one of the deepest secondaries in the FBS. Keon Saab, Bray Hubbard, Xavier Browner, NFL caliber, very highly touted recruits who could propel Bama into the top 10.
Okay.
Top
Heading
10
in the right direction.
that what you want? Hey, we're top 10 in this.
So, Barry, maybe the
Special
Alabama
teams,
will
number
be the
9.
number. I'll admit, Alabama is the number one surprise team. Because
That was what I was.
If it does finish in the top 10 and start outside of the top 10, that'll be a big surprise to me. Based on those numbers you just gave us.
But
I've been kind of hinting at this all summer long. You know, maybe the unknown is in Alabama's best interest because maybe somebody thinks they know something. But I got to see it to believe it. I'm a big fan of that. They will be a huge surprise if, based on those numbers, they end up in the top 10 in a college football playoff team.
they ain't got but 2 units in the top 10. And that's wide receivers and defensive backs. And ain't none of them, and there ain't none of them in the top 5. It used to be funny to look, at this thing. Quarterbacks, top 5. Running backs, number 1. Wide receivers, number 1. Even ahead of the New England Patriots. Offensive line, number 2.
No, that was 5-6 years ago.
Defensive line, number 1. Linebacker, you're like, geez. So
for
it
the
ain't that way.
record,
The team, according to Phil Steele, and he talks, to Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
Team is not that talented, John.
I've been thinking the same thing. There again, Barry, here's the $1 million question. What is different about this team today on the 15th of July than what we saw on New Year's Day in Pasadena? What is different?
Different in a positive way? I mean, they lost their, record-setting quarterback. They lost a couple of offensive linemen. Is that the good news? Or the
I
bad
think
news?
that might be the good news.
So
so they're bringing in a couple of very heralded quarterbacks. I've never seen them play a meaningful snap in college football. Mop-up duty doesn't count. I mean, a guy that's named your starter, got to get ready, going out there taking the first snap of the game. Hadn't seen it out of any of these guys. Running back, their studs, a true freshman, was injured in the spring. Is that your 1,000-yard rusher? Is Daniel Hill your 1,000-yard rusher?
is this team going to speed to an SEC championship and a first-round bye in the college football playoff behind Kevin Riley? Okay.
Where's the Dante
Tobias
Hightower, the Rolando McClain on defense?
I'd settle for the Terrence Cody, Yeah. Tobias says, why would the quarterbacks be ranked high when neither has started a game? Exactly my point. I'm not at all second guessing any of these things. The quarterbacks are not ranked highly because, like John said, they've not played a meaningful snap, and they've got to compete against Arch Manning and Trinidad Chambliss and Sam Levitt and Byron Brown, guys who are like 25 years old, I totally get that. Oh, hey, we got to sit up straight. Josh Harris is with us. We have got, we have got to get him on. I think I can do that. Gurn Jr. having connection issues. Josh, good morning. Can you hear us?
How we doing?
We're doing good. John's a little depressed. I got my Phil Steele College Football Preview magazine.
Yeah.
And we're going over his list of the top units out there. Alabama, the number 61 offensive line, the number 41 running back room, pretty good at wide receivers, top 10, number 6 in defensive backs. This team, well, you may say what you want to about, DeBoer's coaching. They may not be as talented as people are used to, Josh.
That's what the talking heads are saying. But when is the last time that's ever been the case? I mean, it's an interesting start to the year. Alabama going into the year not hyped up and people almost looking at us like we're not going to be good. Like that hadn't happened since 07, 08 maybe. I mean, it's been a long, long time since people have been putting their nose up at Alabama, saying they're not going to be good. They're not talented. They don't have the recruits. They don't have the coach. Let's see how we use that locker room material.
Well, It's interesting, as Barry mentioned, Phil Steele breaking down position by position. Alabama's not rated very high in those position groups, but as Phil told us on this very show a week ago, he's got Alabama as his number one surprise team coming into this season, meaning they will be outside of the top 10 in the preseason polls when the season starts. They will finish inside the top 10 and be a college football playoff team. That is coming from the most trusted name in college football magazines, Phil Steele.
He says that when he agrees with him.
Yeah, right. I like where he says we're going to end up, but I don't like where he's saying we're going to start.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because we're not, do we use that target on our back that has haunted us for so many years that, are people, we are still Alabama. Are people still going to get hyped up every single time they play us? Probably for a little while, but that's hurt us over the years. Yeah. People getting hyped up like this is their national championship. Every single game, we're getting every single team's.
I got to take a quick break. I'm feeling a little queasy.
Preach on, Josh. Keep going, buddy. Just tell it the truth. Speaking the truth here.
South Carolina's best game every single year. Yeah, I mean, like they just come out of the woodworks and play like just.
That is true. Yes.
Best team ever coming to play Alabama every year. And so it'll be, it's a big change. Go. You do look and see our recruiting going down, the talent of players going down. Like it's getting a little scary. I mean, it really is. I mean, are we? Because when I grew up, it was the just worst days of Alabama football. So like I've lived through it, and I'll tell you what, being in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. At that time, that's the worst time to be bad. Talk about mean kids, people, the booger eaters just beating you 6 years in a row, like coming after you. I mean, that's when people really, really care. Who cares more about college football than 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's year 6. The one for the thumb game goes to Auburn. The next Monday, you're in what is junior high?
Calling in sick. Mom, I can't go to school today.
You're on. You got your backpack, you got your lunch, and you're ready to go. And you get right to the curb to enter in, and you're going. And you got all those kids on the other side of that glass inside the school waiting for you. Come on. We're in orange and blue, and they're like, "Come on in," and you're like.
3 kids left with black eyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is that when Tuberville ran across the field with the thumb?
Yeah.
Thumb?
Heck yeah. He did. Yeah,
the thumb game. Well, Josh, that was pretty bad, but at least Alabama's not sending a kicker to SEC football media days next week down in Tampa.
That has crawled all over, John. Alex McPherson is one of 3 that Auburn is sending. He's a kicker, and, he's had an interesting story. I do get John's point in, all right, the assembled media there, what do you ask a kicker, right? Hey, what's the mood of the team? I don't know. I'm over there on the farm practice field,
I mean, it is sending he does have that good story, right?
It is a good story. Yeah. It is a very good story.
But other than the story that everyone – most people already know because every time he kicks, they tell the story. But what are they going to ask him? I mean, you're right. What are they going to? I mean, but it would be nice to have a good kicker. I mean, good kickers are important. So maybe I don't know what they're
game for you.
They can. They can.
They can lose one for you too.
Yeah. Maybe I'm putting too much into this, Barry. I need to get off the punters and kickers and long snappers and get. They're not
Please
many.
Don't.
In the many years we've been covering this event, there have not been a lot of kickers, punters, and long snappers that have made the trio of players representing schools. But hey,
has it ever happened? Do we know if that's
Arkansas had a punter years ago?
Texas A&M had a punter a few years ago, so that does that has happened.
What's worse, a punter or a kicker? I mean, if you're having to punt the ball a lot, obviously your offense isn't very good.
I think if you're sending a punter, you're in big trouble. I think that's a terrible omen for the year. Like, we're sending our punter to SEC Media Day. We're gonna.
Speaking of terrible omens, I don't ever want. I've been with John 30 years, and there's only been one other time in my life where he said, maybe I'm making too much out of this. No, don't ever back off, John. Don't ever back off. You go way, way, way out there on that limb and you ruffle the branches and all that. Don't ever say, maybe I ought to back off of this subject. Never, never, never has happened before.
The Alves are getting mad in the chat about the booger eater comment.
Oh, yeah. They
don't like that.
Well,
no, they don't like that.
I don't get booger eaters. Auburn has a good engineering school. What does Bama have? Law school?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, law school.
Law school. Yeah.
Yeah, which would you rather be, an engineer?
Hey, listen, my pet loves his vet. He's an Auburn grad. I mean, come on.
Right.
You know?
No, I went and took my dog to the vet. Auburn grad, phenomenal vet. And I even told the vet, I said, I saw your diploma. And usually I'd leave if I saw an Auburn diploma with the guy that I was, going to do some type of business with. But you're a vet, and that's the only thing that I'll take.
Hey, my pharmacist is a good guy too. I like him.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like my pharmacist.
I thought it was a little condescending when you started speaking more slowly to your vet because of this. My dog. This is my dog.
This is Smiley Man.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, elsewhere in the SEC, we're going to be at SEC Media Days down in Tampa next week. Elsewhere in the SEC, Auburn is going to be on Tuesday, along with Georgia, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Wednesday, Alabama will be there with Florida, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. It's interesting. 2 out of those 4 have Alabama ties. Only the Alabama head coach does not have a background there. What Thursday is Arkansas, LSU, Mississippi State, and Texas. Honestly, what do you think of what Lane Kiffin has on his plate this year? We're trying to think of questions to ask these guys. We'll be gone by the time Kiffin gets there. But I'm still trying to draw a bead on LSU, other than the fact that with their football coach, with their men's basketball coach, they will do whatever it takes, man. They don't care if people think they're idiots and all that. We'll pay Brian Kelly $60 million to get out and Kiffin $90 million to come in. Coach got fired because of NCAA violations. Let's bring him back in basketball. They'll do anything. What'll they do this year, Josh?
They've got quite the squad. They've got the evil villains of coaches, but just
Orgeron is back, for God's sake.
Oh,
they better be good in everything. And that's where it's like if you've got a job and you're just you're a loudmouth and causing a bunch of problems, but you're making sales and you're bringing in money.
I know somebody like that.
Right. Yeah. You're good. But the minute you stop winning or closing business or doing what you're supposed to do, you're gone. So all these coaches got short leashes and a lot of money, which is an interesting dynamic, right? It's going to be in one of the craziest, if not the craziest, college town in the country with the craziest fans in the country. So it's going to be I can't wait to watch all the LSU coach interviews throughout the year. Right?
It's going to be entertaining. No doubt. I mean, Clemson's their opener there in Baton Rouge. They go to Oxford in week 3. I was talking to my niece last week who lives in Oxford. It's going to be absolutely crazy for that game. Yeah. LSU is going to be a TV favorite, I can promise you.
You got Dabo and Lane Kiffin. Like, that's like the little devil in the halo on one side. Like, that's gonna be something there.
That will be.
Don't
That
you
will
touch
be
that
something.
girl. What?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Dabo. Because, I mean, they're not in any preseason top 25. You know, we're talking about all these position rankings. They're not there as well. I wonder if there's a.
If Clemson goes 8-4, 7-5, they're going to just maybe ease Dabo out. What do you think his future looks like?
Shoot, they can't get rid of him.
He's got to be close to being gone. I mean, I know he's Dabo and he's brought them back to glory and the greatest guy on the face of the earth, blah, 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 blah. But he's got, I mean,
what you've done for me is great. What are you doing for me now? I mean, we've seen that at another school. Win a national title 2 years later, fired.
Oh, they were horrible 2 years later, Gene Chizik.
You don't even know who do you think I was talking about? Okay. I was talking about Auburn. You're right.
I mean, I think it's his last year. I think this is his last year. I think that'll be my call sheet bet is that or Poly Market, whatever it is that it's Dabo's last year. I think he's done. I don't think he can keep up.
I don't know how tough the ACC is going to be this year, and I don't think I think Clemson's only other non-conference game is a good one will be South Carolina at the end of the year. But if they go 8-4 in the ACC,
Are you on team Ryan Coleman Williams bounce back year or not?
Yes. I think Ryan Williams turns it around. I think this is his year. I am a big Ryan Williams supporter. I think he's got a quarterback now. We'll see if hopefully Phil's not right about the offensive line, but if we can give some time to the quarterback, then we're in good shape. If not, there's nothing Ryan Williams can do. And hopefully he doesn't get hit across the head his first game again.
Ooh.
I feel like that messed him up.
All right, Josh, we will be in Tampa next week. As a matter of fact, during this time slot, we hope to be talking to Alabama head football coach Kalen DeBoer and some of the players that will be there in Tampa a week from today on Wednesday. So we might have to juggle our schedule with you. We're letting Tobias Theotis know that now so he, doesn't get freaked out next week when he is looking for your lovely face. But we'll get something worked out. I know you don't have a problem juggling your schedule with Kalen DeBoer, if that's okay.
That'll work. But he better win some games.
Yeah. If Josh will do him a solid, if he'll do Josh a solid.
Right, exactly.
Appreciate you, Josh. Thanks, man.
Thank you, buddy. Always love the conversation with the Moneyline magician, Josh Harris, here today on the program. Bear, before we move on, something grabbed my attention today. I don't know if you were aware of this or not. But it is, let me make sure here. It was earlier today when I looked at it, but my computer is slow.
We could go to a break and then do it in the next.
I will. Let's do that as my computer is regenerating. And then I guess we'll get to the Daily Dog.
Coming up.
Yeah.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Have to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey,
I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What'd I miss?
I have no idea.
Travel Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. Okay, welcome back in. Glad you're with us. About 20 minutes past the hour here on this Wednesday. Barry, it is no longer known as Auburn Undercover.
Yes. It is now Auburn 24/7, and I'm all about it. It's always been 24/7, but now instead of, Auburn, AUTigers.com for a long time, then they merged and it was Auburn Undercover and AUTigers.com. Now it's just Auburn 24/7.
24/7.
That's about the only that is the only change, is that we got to remember, and we'll screw it up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Jason Caldwell, Auburn 24/7. There are a couple of things in there. I love Juice with Jason, summer intel on Auburn football. And I clutched up a little bit when Christian Clemente came out with 3 things I know, 3 things I think I know about Auburn recruiting under Alex Golesh.
Yeah.
Was that a Phillip thing?
It was. Phillip did something similar to that as well. Yeah.
Right now, Auburn recruiting has been a hot topic. For the first time Auburn's good recruiting has been a hot topic for the first time in 6 or 7, 8 years. Back when it was just lukewarm recruiting. Over the last several years when it was really bad recruiting, and then the last 2 years where it was pretty good recruiting but no results. Right now, Auburn is number 11 in the 24/7 sports recruiting rankings. Number 11, right behind LSU, right ahead of Clemson.
Yeah. Okay.
Auburn is at number 11. Alabama right now.
Okay. Yep.
I'm sorry. Load more. Is number 51. They're the first.
Yeah.
In the second. Number 51, right behind Stanford and Boston College.
Their goal, Barry, is to get out of the load more position.
Yeah, where you don't have to click something.
Yeah. Got to be in the top 50, maybe the top 49. Who knows? Yeah. But that's their goal, is to get away from the load more. You know, when I first brought that to the attention of our viewers and listeners many years ago, and I said, "Ooh, yeah, but Barry, you got to hit that load more button." I never imagined that Alabama would be in the load more category.
51, man.
Never thought that. You know, I also coined another phrase. How have they fallen so far, so fast?
That was a little Beano-ism, but
that was directed toward Gene Chizik after the national championship.
2010, they win the national championship. 2012, they were the worst Auburn football team I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some bad Auburn football teams, and that's what started that. So now, after years and years of glory within Alabama football, absolute blindingly good glory, throughout which John kept saying, "I'm telling you kids, you youngsters, you newbies, it hasn't always been like this."
No, it hadn't.
It has been like this for a smaller amount of time than any other college football program in the country. I mean, no, they have had more success. They have had these good times more than any other college football program in the country. But there have been some bad times too. There may be some bad times coming. He said that over and over again. There's going to come a time where they're going to be struggling, and you're going to have to sit here and take it.
Yeah.
And not just glory in, the ability to go ahead and get your flights ready for the national championship game in August. We're not to that point yet. We are not. Alabama won a game in the college football playoff last year. They're a 9-wins team. They ended up playing in the SEC championship game. Let's be real here. Alabama, the bad times are not here for Alabama. These are not bad times. These are good times. These are not fantastically glorious, blindingly, unbelievably good times, but these are not bad times for Alabama. So all I got to tell you, my moral, the point of the whole thing, Bama fans, stop whining. Shut up. Stop it with all of this. Well, you know, the broker of mediocre and all this crap.
Yeah.
They're still really good. They're just not the most amazing thing in the history of human civilization, like you used to think for 10, 12, 13 years.
Is losing by 35 not a reason to panic? Last two games inside the Rose Bowl were not good. They weren't good. The granddaddy of them all, and they laid an egg in both of them. The last two trips they've been out there. I think 35-point deficit or 35-point defeat is reason to panic, particularly coming off that SEC championship game, which they didn't look much better.
But they were. Is it better to look bad in the SEC championship game than to look really good in your season-ending game against Tennessee to seal off a 3-9 year? You know, I mean, at least you got there. This is not the worst that Alabama has faced. 2019. Let's go way back when. 2019, January 7th, 2019, at the end of the 2018 season. Alabama played in the college football playoff national championship game in that noted hotbed of college football, Santa Clara, California.
Yeah.
They lost that game by 28. People can talk all you want about losing by 7 to Louisiana Monroe, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about specifically under Saban.
Yeah.
He loses by 28 in 2019 to end the 2018 season.
Yeah.
And they still ended up pretty good. I mean, they still was no reason to panic, right?
Well,
the
I'll
very
say
next
this.
year,
was it the
ended
next
up going,
year they win the national championship?
Well, the next
Do
year
people
they
think
ended up
Kalen DeBoer's
losing.
going to win the national championship after getting embarrassed by 35 points 6 months ago? Do people really think that? You think Alabama's going to win the national title this year? I don't. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, hey, they're predicted to make the college football playoff. All bets are off once you do that. Not really, but just a matter of speaking.
Yes, he's making a point here, people.
Yeah. So I don't want to be
shut up
down
with all of this. Oh well, we're the worst ever. No, you're good. You're just not great. And I know you want to get to great. Everybody wants to get to great. But goodness, 2018, you play for a national championship. You're 14-1. I can't even remember some of these guys. The defensive coordinator, Tosh Lupoy, Josh Gaddis, Mike Loxley were the coordinators on that team.
Tough. That was a tough night. That was a tough night.
So,
but you know, the thing I'm most proud of about that game, Barry, is
you beat somebody in cornhole, or somebody was playing cornhole outside.
An Auburn shirt on.
That's what it was.
I said, what's this guy doing here? You got to be kidding me. No, that the fact that the game was over, flew all the way back home from San Jose and was sitting inside network control to do the show that morning. That is a fact. I think so. Speaks again. I mean, it was probably like 1 a.m. Montgomery time when we took off from San Jose and still got back in time as the opening credits of, was it Dr. Feelgood was our opening theme music? I can't remember. Yeah. All right. So Tobias makes some, as always, he said, makes some interesting points here.
On the chat line, he says, in 2025, pundits like y'all ranked both Clemson and Penn State as top 5 and 10 teams because of returning quarterbacks. Somebody, hang on a moment. Somebody thought Penn State would play for the national championship. Somebody thought Clemson would play for the national championship. Those quarterbacks have stunk for 3 years. I like both unders, and local man, he says, I hit both unders, and local man blocked my number for a week. Yeah. Oh, the point being, I guess, is that number one, Tobias is killing it against local man, but number two, preseason prognostications really don't mean anything.
You know,
I got to get out my last year's Phil Steele because I guarantee you he didn't have Indiana winning the national championship.
I will admit it, Barry. I had Clemson and Penn State playing for the national title last year.
Look it up. John's a stand-up guy. He'll admit it.
I had those too. I got to admit it. I know people are wondering, what did the Phantom do? I mean, we hate to gloat. I mean, we don't want to sound cocky and we don't want to toot our own horn.
But we're about to gloat, sound cocky, and toot a horn. Here we go.
Last night was the annual All-Star game in Major League Baseball. I mentioned it as we opened the show. Fantastic. The broadcast was unbelievable.
You're just saying the air smelled a little sweeter. The birds were singing so beautifully and everything. You know why?
It was awesome. You know, Joe Davis, my man Smoltzy.
Smoltzy has never done better. He sounded so good. It was just amazing.
And they've got the pitchers mic'd up during the game. The catchers, they're talking to them. I think this is beautiful. Talking to the managers, awesome. I mean, give me more interest. Give me something to get interested in besides a guy scratching himself, stepping out of the batter's box and changing pitchers. Don't want to hear
something like,
don't want to see
hey, Blue, are you blind? That was a strike.
So I thoroughly enjoyed. And Barry, we mentioned, I like it when they're wearing their usual team uniforms. Right. I don't like this, stuff they come out with from time to time. Last night they had their unis on. It was great. I think there was a patriotic uniform, something as well. Maybe they wore a 250 patch or something. But the game, we had the under in this game, under 8.5 runs in the game. And I got to tell you, it started out hot. I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute. Bases loaded. I mean, there's a guy hits a double. I'm thinking, oh, geez, this is not the way I needed to start. It's rough.
But the National League set an all-star game record by striking out 15 times.
Barry, I think you mentioned
yesterday. 3-hit shutout, and the under was
a lock.
Easy.
4-0 American League wins. I can't believe
I was worried about this.
And I think you mentioned something about how many strikeouts there have been this year in Major League Baseball.
It's been lately. It's been the last several years. This year's, I mean, you're paying good money so you can watch a bunch of guys strike out. Granted, they're the best players in the world. Hey, I spent $400 to get a ticket to watch the best players in the world strike out.
Yeah.
How smart do you feel about that? I love baseball so much, but man, Major League level, it is hard to watch.
It's tough. So a lot of strikeouts, a lot of good pitching in the American. Maybe the Braves need to get some pitchers from the American League. Did you say something about the Braves pitching was not going well?
Well, they're hurt. They're, a lot of injuries.
Injuries. That's the number one go-to. Injuries. Hey, Robbie from Greenville, you still with us? I'm waiting for some Braves talk. John from Wetumpka, you okay? Everything good?
Technically, this is not gloating because as the Phantom opened up this segment, we hate to gloat, we hate to toot our own horn and all that kind of stuff. But the Phantom's Daily Dog did hit last night in the under in the MLB All-Star game.
So, Barry, today looks like we're taking another break, which is okay. Take a pause. Take a deep breath.
They don't get back in action again.
No WNBA.
They don't get back in action until Thursday. The Mets and the Phillies in Philly again. Braves open up a homestand for the weekend. They're back in action on Friday.
Yeah.
Against the Texas Rangers.
There's only one game tomorrow.
That is true. Just the Phillies and the Mets.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I could almost understand why, you had the All-Star game yesterday in Philadelphia, and, tomorrow's game is supposed to be in Philly. If you move that game to Wednesday, I mean, they're already in town. I don't know. It doesn't, I don't know in a negative way. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they do that, John.
I don't understand that either. It's kind of like, why do they play World Cup soccer games at 2:00 in the afternoon on a weekday? That one I can't figure out.
Prime time in Europe.
We're trying to grow the sport here in the good old U.S. of A. They're trying to make the game relevant, to make us a force in World Cup soccer. Maybe we can win it one day. Maybe we can't. They're trying to get more little kids and families. Hey, how about soccer? You need to learn more about it and talk about it. It needs to be a big thing, and everybody's buzzed about it. Well, yeah, I'd love to. Where do I watch it? 2:00 on Wednesday. Can't do that.
They don't get caught up in it. He's already said that the Daily Dog ain't going WNBA. There is no Major League Baseball.
Happening. No soccer.
He's not leading into this by coming up with an opinion on this 2:00 start time this afternoon on Fox between England and Argentina from Atlanta. That's not the play today, is it?
No.
Okay. All right. I thought you kind of switched into that mode, and I'm thinking, is he going World Cup on the Daily Dog? Whatever it is, I don't even know what the under.
I don't even know what the line is.
There's a lot of betting on the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's England and Argentina, 2:00 from Atlanta. It says England. This is not Great Britain. I mean, this is just England.
Just England.
Don't ask me why. England plus 167, and the over-under is 2.5. Argentina, of course, that's Lionel Messi, who now has dropped into my second favorite player, who once scored a goal a month and a half ago now, at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
I mean, does it really count? It was an exhibition game. Do they keep stats?
It's a friendly. Yeah, they keep
friendly
stats.
Game.
It's a friendly exhibition. Come on, man. So we are taking a break.
I'm staying away from World Cup. I mean, look, the smartest gamblers out there tell you you ain't got to bet every day. You don't have to bet the sheet.
All right.
Just pick the one or two that you really like. You'll know more about that when football season rolls around and somebody will chime in on the River Region Straw chat line. Hey, Phantom, how come you didn't pick the Bama game this week? Don't like the number.
Well,
don't like it.
And
hey,
we
Phantom,
know.
How dare you bet against Alabama? I want to win, don't I? They ain't covering every week.
So
those
without
guys
that,
kill me. Those are the ones that kill me. I ain't betting against Bama. Okay, here's my number. Call me.
And that local man is saying the same thing. Yeah, I just can't find it in my heart to bet against Alabama. Well, you're not going to be able to find a whole lot in your wallet after a little while of that kind of stuff.
I can't tell you how many times I've bet against Alabama. And I'm not gloating. If I'm watching the game with my buddies and I'm going, ooh, this is playing out just like I need it to play out, Not that they're going to lose the game, not necessarily. Sometimes that has happened, and I've covered.
A little bit more lately than
hate it that they lost, but I'm cashing in the ticket. That irks them the most. If Bama loses the game outright, but I win my bet, that just irks them to no end.
They want your entire world to be shattered. Kick the dog, yell at the wife, all of that kind of stuff. That's what they want. Sounds a little bit too well adjusted for that. Okay, so no, he ain't going WNBA tonight.
No.
There's only one Major League game tomorrow, and we don't have the CFL until Friday when the Edmonton Elks host the BC Lions. I'm not sure he'd even do that, to be honest.
No, not betting World Cup.
Joe says, don't have to bet every day? Bull crap, Longshore. Signed Coach Bohannon. God bless Brad Bohannon. Yeah.
Man, no kidding. Joe's got a lot of mileage off that. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But
So-
no, you don't. I mean, smart bettors know. You ain't got to bet every game.
Well,
the local man wants you to.
Yeah,
I promise you that.
Tobias says the Phantom is not touching the WNBA because he don't want to be investigated. Probably true. More to come in just a moment. A little bit later on our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that flavor because of me. Have to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What I miss?
I have no idea.
Chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
Alrighty, back at it here on this Wednesday edition of the program, Longshore and McKnight.
We have this coming across our desk. I've been wanting to get to this. Yesterday on 3, on 3.com's Nick Schultz wrote a piece about the finalized agreement between Auburn football and the Peach Bowl. Famously, they moved that September 5th season opener. It's an Auburn home game, but they moved it against Baylor from Jordan-Hare Stadium to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. They're calling it the Aflac kickoff game. The partnership, and it was just announced that the deal was finalized yesterday. The partnership will provide up to 24 student athletes, Auburn student athletes, with third-party promotional contracts covering social media campaigns, public appearances around the game, and in-game advertisements. The collective opportunities could reach $5 million, although they still have to be cleared by the clearinghouse, and the Peach Bowl didn't disclose the exact figure. So that's really what got it away from the fans, is because it got it towards the players. $5 million potentially in NIL opportunities. It's not the money Auburn was guaranteed as a university to get to move it to Atlanta. It's the money that was guaranteed to the players. Read between the lines here. John Cohen says, quote, "There are a lot of businesses in and around Auburn. Dr. Chris Roberts, the president, and I, both along with our board members, realize that taking a game away from Auburn, Alabama, and moving it somewhere else can economically hurt a community, and it can have an adverse effect. The challenge is that we also have to be extremely competitive in the third-party marketplace for NIL. We have to get great quality student athletes." Read between the lines there. Fans, hate it for you. But if we don't do this, we're not going to get the players that can win us games that make you happy. Which would you rather have, a home game with average players or whatever? We have to get great quality student athletes. makes it sound, John, like this may not be the only home game that they
well, no doubt about it. I
sell
mean,
out from underneath the fans.
Had 5 seasons plus with average players. How have you like that? Now they got to find ways to make money to go out and pay for the best players available. And if that means taking away a game and, you know, it hurts the
local
bookstore
business
that sells T-shirts or the lemonade stand at the corner or wherever else as people go to over there, you know, it's just the way of the world, and it's the way business operates today. I think those businesses are still going to make it. I mean, Auburn has an ample amount of home games that I think that they're going to be able to, you know, make some pretty good money during those weekends. But, yeah, and I think you're going to see other schools try to do the same thing. I mean, one school figures it out. They all want to jump in and get a piece of it as well. Are there going to be enough off-site locations around to do things like this? Because, Barry, I can't imagine this is a one-and-done type deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, you have the Aer Lingus Classic in Dublin. You have about a couple of those games in Atlanta like that. You'll have one in Nashville like that. The Music City kickoff between Louisville and Ole Miss will be on that first Sunday, September 6th, in Nashville on ABC. That ain't just for the fun of it.
No.
They're playing whatever it is, the Cheesehead Classic, Wisconsin and Notre Dame in Green Bay. That ain't just for fun. Those kind of things, you're going to see it happen more and more and more. And again, the fans are asked to give more and more and more, but the fan experience is going to be less and less and less, and it's more geared towards the student athlete.
You know, I like going to campus. I like the pregame. I like tailgating. That's great. You're just probably going to have one less opportunity to be able to do it. And I believe, you know, I believe with Auburn, looking at their schedule, they have 5 away conference games. Of their 9 conference games, 5 of them are on the road. They've got a, you know, road, so to speak, opener, even though they are the home game. So 6 of their 12 games are on the road. Only 6 home dates there at Dye Field.
Just for contrast, if you're a group of 5, that's pretty good, right? Hey, we got 6 home games. That is cool. If you're in the SEC, take a look around. Not many teams in the SEC this year or any other year are only playing 6 at home.
But let's face it. I mean, of Auburn's home games, really only 2 of them are, you know, I'm going, wow, can't miss that one. Florida and LSU.
Well,
Southern Miss, Vandy, Arkansas, and Samford.
One quick thing here before we go to break and go to the topic wheel.
Ugh.
This happens every other year where Georgia games on the road and the Alabama games on the road in the same year. You know, Auburn tried to petition them.
And scream and whine and complain about that and want to get it changed or something?
I have a problem with your verbs, but yeah, they did issue a complaint about it. And not only do they have him, you know, both away at the same year, both home at the same year, but they also had him kind of back-to-back. The SEC said, okay, we won't make them back-to-back anymore. But this is my thought. Since this year, they got Georgia on the road and Alabama on the road. They ain't selling a ton of, they're not going to win the national championship this year.
Whoa.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Auburn will not be hoisting the trophy. They've got Alabama on the road. They've got Georgia on the road. They're still going to sell the place out. Any year from now on for the foreseeable future that Auburn has that year where they play Georgia on the road and Alabama on the road, they're going to have a game where they give away a home game. Those years, you're going to have them give away a home game just about every one of those years when both Georgia and Alabama are on the road.
You don't think they'll do it next year?
No, next year they'll have that extra home game because they got to make up some of that money. You know, they're going to pour it on for the Georgia
got to
ticket.
make up the money?
Auburn's got to. The Auburn businesses, the Auburn City businesses.
Well, they're Auburn. You know, that's not their problem. That's those businesses' problem. I don't think you should be. Well, you know, we're going to help you guys out. We're going to have another game. We could go back to Atlanta and get $5 million for our NIL, but we're going to help out the lemonade stand at the corner. Yeah, that's what we're all about.
I thought I was being provocative by saying they're going to do that every other year. John says, I think they're going to do it every year.
I'm just saying, why would you not?
President Longshore, if he's ever the president of Auburn or Alabama, would be the most unpopular president in town.
I don't know about that.
He'd go to a restaurant to eat lunch, and they'll bring it out cold, and they'll shove it in front of him because you have to have that town and gown relationship. Yeah, you know, the coaches may love him, but the people around town are going to hate his guts.
Are you telling me, people, that there would be people waving flags that had LDS on them? Longshore derangement syndrome?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the Latter-day Saints. Next year, Auburn's got 7 home games. Not this year, but next.
Yeah.
Middle Tennessee, Austin P. Notre Dame on the road.
Yep.
Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas A&M.
That's pretty good home schedule.
That's a pretty dadgum good schedule. They got to pour it on next year.
Can they not go play Middle Tennessee somewhere in Nashville? Make $5 million?
Now that you say that, they probably will. I don't think so. Stay with us. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel, Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
This summer, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is on a Jurassic hunt for the oldest HVAC systems and water heaters in town. If your system is a fossil, now's your chance. Replace it between June 1st and July 31st, and you could win big. We're giving $2,500 back for the oldest HVAC systems and $1,000 back for the oldest water heater. Even if you don't win, you still score major savings on your new HVAC system, water heater, generator, and or garage door. Don't let your systems go extinct. Call Dixie and it's done.
Drive away in a Toyota Crown Platinum or win your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's Crown and $25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings July 10th and 11th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Okay, here we are back at it. I want to congratulate the big winner of the car and 25K giveaway last week out there at Victoryland. Man, big winner, big excitement. You can be a winner too. We'll get you all the info about the next big one coming up as well. Always some great promotions out there at Victoryland. Okay,
here we go.
Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. We don't know what these topics are. We're seeing them for the first time, just like you.
Brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85 Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. 6 of them don't know what they are. No clue. We like it that way.
Yeah, I know it. I like it.
We operate better when we don't know what we're doing.
Figure it out.
All right. Figured it out.
Figured it
out. Past tense. Hey, we figured it out. Oh, let's see. That's just a rock. Oh, look at that. He's playing fetch by himself. Oh, look. The dog is on half of the stair stepper. This is great. I love this stuff. Yeah. I've actually seen that happen before. Dogs love that stuff. All right. No, that's not the thing to do.
Wait a minute.
That dog's
got a strong dog there.
Dick. No kidding. I've actually seen a bull. Oh yeah, it's hot, man. It's hot.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. It's hot. Yeah.
That dog's never going to figure that out.
No. Oh, come on. You got to go through the puddle, dude. Life is short. Hit the puddle. That's
good stuff. Yeah.
I am a sucker for dog videos like that. Yeah. If I'm trying to do something work and I've checked Twitter real quick and they'll have a dog video thing like that, I'll sit and watch the whole thing and watch it again. Love that kind of stuff. Let's go back to it.
Let's do it. We got some more coming up.
Out.
5 big topics left to go here. Colorful wheel today. Very colorful.
Sad frog.
Sloppy.
Looks like Poppy got a little sloppy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kylian Mbappe. If the French can do anything really well, it's play soccer. They're not great in war.
No.
We had to bail them out in World War I and World War II. True. But if they do 2 things well, one of them is play soccer. The other one is wine.
Yeah, they can cook. I was about to say, I was thinking of food.
No. I'm thinking wine with an H. W-H-I-N-E.
Yeah.
Didier Deschamps. France loses yesterday to Spain. Mbappe's the best player. Had a chance to go to the 3rd straight World Cup final. Mbappe did not even have a shot on goal, which is the first time that's happened for him in like 4 years. But Mbappe said, we were 3 against 2 in midfield and against Spain. We had plenty. There was a lack of communication on the press. I think we should have done man-to-man press and forced them to run with us. Man, you don't do that. You're not at the end of the Super Bowl and you see the Giants upset the Patriots and Brady saying, I thought Belichick should have, run a little bit more forward. The French won. See, if we'd have done this, we'd have won easy. You lost. You didn't score. You only had like 3 shots on goal. Yeah, you got punked. You got to wear it, France.
Got to wear it. You got that right.
You ever been to France?
Yes, I have.
I have.
I have been to Paris. Yeah.
Never have. Dirty city, they tell me.
It's big. It's a big place. Woo.
Yeah.
Tough pitch.
I
don't know where this pitch landed.
Yeah. You want me to sell the Braves to who? I ain't selling the Braves on the radio. Oh, yeah. Hit by a pitch.
Yep.
Oh.
Right in the hand.
Now, there you go. Junior Caminero, an all-star for the Tampa Bay Rays, gets hit in the all-star game. He ain't going to be able to play. You watch it. The Rays, out of the all-star break, are going to go on about an 8-game losing streak. And for what?
Yeah.
For what?
Exhibition game. He, come on. Wow.
You watch. Oh, you got to get out of the way. Oh,
looks like you got him right on the pink. Yeah. Man.
So, this is why things happen. That's what caused Dizzy Dean the rest of his career. He got hit on the toe in the All-Star game on a ground ball from Earl Averill, and he was never the same pitcher after that.
Didn't Ray Fosse get knocked out by Pete Rose?
In an All-Star game.
Yeah.
Rounding third, Rose is going 100%. Rossi's saying this is an all-star game. Fosse takes the throw nonchalant, and Rose hits him in the next week, separates his shoulder. It was never the same after that.
Come on, Pete.
Yeah. He made the all-star game, but his greatest honor was once getting his name on his picture on a 7-Eleven cup.
True.
That John never could get.
That was a hard cup to get. I finally got it, though. All right. Cherry on top is...
Makes a deal with his buddies.
Yeah, I ain't kidding.
I'll give you 3 Biff Pokerobas for 1 Ray Fosse.
Sad
frog.
Sad frog.
Sounds like Kylian Mbappe. No, yeah. Oh, no. French fan. You've got Stephen M. Smith behind him. You got, let's see, French fan, not real happy.
Somebody got their ankle hurt, it looks like.
Yeah.
Those Frenchies, they have got
sad frog.
Suck it up a little bit.
They don't have many wins. I mean, they do have good food.
They got good food.
They
do.
Eiffel
Tower's beautiful. Go up, take a look at the city. It's awesome.
Man, when it comes to crunch time, winning a soccer match, winning a war, they are out to lunch, man.
Not
very tough.
All right, not very tough. I don't think of physical tough when I'm thinking of France.
No. All right. Sad frog.
That was sad frog. I think we got 2 to go, blue and red. Normally the last 2 on the panel. It's a mystery. We hadn't figured out why, but we're going with it. Cherry on top.
Program. Cherry on top.
Cherry on top.
Rock Chalowski, All-American from the UCLA Bruins, shortstop.
Okay.
He was the number 1 pick in the draft this past week by the White Sox. His signing bonus, $10.3 $5 million.
Yeesh.
Chase Burns, Charlie Condon, two of the top 3 selections last year. He is a terrific player. He will be a terrific player. I love watching Rock Chalowski. But he is making about twice in signing bonus what John Mateer is making in NIL money as the quarterback at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So, gosh, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Just, here's $10.35 million just for signing with us. Okay. He hasn't done anything. I think he's going to be a great player. Remember the name, Rock Chalowski. He's
Rock
awesome.
Chalowski. It's an interesting name, hard to forget.
Yes.
Zero
strategy. Is this Ryan Grubb? Is this Ryan Grubb? What did he do now? Zero strategy.
Zero strategy. DeChambeau. Barry, it is the Open.
Royal Birkdale.
Yes.
DeChambeau is gearing up for the Open off the back of 3 straight missed cuts in majors.
Ooh.
And he raised eyebrows. With his tactics at Royal Portrush last year. Nick Faldo says he doesn't have any strategy. He has zero clue of strategy on a link-style course. That'd be me. I'd be out there going, what am I doing? I'll just hit a driver.
I played the Senator at Capitol Hill enough to know a little strategy of what to do here, there, and everywhere. But if you hadn't played it, you don't know, man. You're flying blind.
3D printed irons. They take about an hour in printing. Do we do that now? 3D printing your irons?
That's news to me.
That is news to me, too. That's part of it, though, John, isn't it? You can't just wail away at it. I'm firing for the pins every time. Strategy, some people will lead you to believe, is just the mental game is just as important as hitting the shots themselves, right? Agree or disagree? Uh-oh, we lost John again. All of a sudden, the microphone doesn't work again. Well, with that being said, we'll close out the program here. Coming up tomorrow, Auburn 24/7's Jason Caldwell will join us. We'll also hear from Rodney Orr, the Tiger Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. For CJ Duncan, for Josh Harris, for our producer Gurn Jr., and for John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.